I'm a performing arts photographer who recently had the opportunity to travel to an NFL game to take pictures of the University of Wisconsin-Madison Marching Band. Usually I'm the guy behind the camera, and I still was, but I wanted to sort of document my experience from my perspective because there's a lot of unique things that I get to see from where I'm standing and what I'm doing that I think other people would find interesting too. Given the actual kickoff time for the game, it made for a pretty early morning. As I was leaving the city, I definitely got to catch a really nice sunrise over the skyline of downtown Milwaukee.
Holy moly, is it cold.
Thanks to the university I was working with, I was actually able to be given a parking pass on one of the lots on the stadium grounds.
I have no idea where I'm going.
Parked the car, got the thumbs up from the guy in the orange vest that I had indeed parked the car correctly.
So I came from somewhere over there, and currently that is the rehearsal facility indoors where we are headed. And that seems to be the entire band.
With any sort of performance such as this, there's always a rehearsal on the day just to make sure everybody's on the same page, there's no issues, and that everything that was rehearsed is remembered and working correctly before the actual performance happens. It's a super cool privilege to be able to have a rehearsal such as that inside of the official NFL Green Bay Packers rehearsal facility. It's an opportunity that most students don't get to have, but many photographers also may never actually be in a space like that. So that's a highlight of the day in of itself before we've even made it over to the stadium. There were already a few shots I had in mind that I knew I was going to get, one of which was our drum major Caleb running out from the band during the pregame performance. I wanted to get him full extension as he was running towards me, making sure I could get the Green Bay Packer logo on the turf. You can just see me here practicing and framing it up, making sure I know what's going to happen before we actually get to the stadium. That's another huge benefit of rehearsal for me. There are times where I don't see the show, I don't see the band until their day of performance. I've gotten pretty good at catching everything on the fly and really only need one take. But anytime there's a show as big as this, it's always nice to get a practice run, make sure I feel good, the students feel good, because I want to be able to do the best I can for them. After that, we basically walk straight into the stadium, and then it's right out onto the field a couple minutes before the pregame performance, which is the first of 3 performances that the band will be doing in the stadium that day.
They're gonna come along the sideline.
Pregame went well. It's very different doing it in Lambeau Field away from our home stadium, but the performance was solid. It was a good representation of, I think, the show that needed to happen. Everybody seemed to have a good time. Something interesting to bring up is that Lambeau Field is real grass. Most high school, college, and professional fields are AstroTurf, and so with Green Bay having real grass, it's actually a very different experience to march on when you're in the band. It has a different amount of friction, the ground underneath feels differently when you're on it, and so that's definitely something that sometimes catches people off guard, but didn't really seem to be much of an issue on this day. Since it is an NFL game, there's of course 100 moving parts. Once the band's pregame performance was done, they sort of had to march off the field into the end zone, turn around, and sort of just wait for a few minutes until they were called back onto the field to play the national anthem. As the marching band is coming off of the field, there's another performance happening by the Tundra Line, which is a drum line that plays specifically for the Green Bay Packers. A lot of the members in the Packers Tundra Line were in the Badger marching band when they were in school, so I wanted to stay and take pictures of the Tundra Line as well, both because I knew some of them, but also just because it's another group that I can take pictures of and I'm sure would appreciate some pictures of themselves. And during this time, the NFL players were announced as they were coming out of the tunnel. It was super cool because everybody actually got to be on the turf watching this happen. And a bunch of the players actually started to sort of make their way over to the bench, which is where we were standing for the show. Super cool to get to see some big name players, Jordan Love, standing literally a foot or 2 away from us. The band comes back out for the national anthem. While that's happening, all the players are standing there with their heads bowed. And of course, I took the opportunity to get the band in the background with a bunch of the players super close to me, where you could see both of them on the field at the same time. That's one of the coolest things about getting to do this every year, is that the band is on the field with a different team than they're used to doing in their home turf. After that, the band's pregame performance is finished. They are marching off the field, and those of us on the sideline, including myself and the conductors, were getting ready to also get off of the field, but not before I got shoulder checked by Keyshawn Nixon. Totally not his fault. We were in their turf trying to get out of their way, and things just got super cramped super quick. Fast forward to halftime, and we're right back on the field getting ready for the second of 3 performances that day. Halftime starts. The show was a Billy Joel show, which the crowd loved as soon as the title was announced. It was a bit shortened from the full show that they had performed at a home game a few weeks ago, but it still seemed like the crowd really loved it. Our drum major Caleb gets to actually dance in the front during part of it. There's definitely some unique drill moves that happen as well throughout, and I think overall it was one of the more entertaining shows that we've put on in Green Bay, if not this season. Last year at this time, it was cold and raining during the game, so I think everybody was just happy for it to not be doing that. Once halftime finished, the band marched off the field and started to head back to their seats. I kind of found a spot right on the corner of where everybody was leaving the field going back to their seats, and actually managed to get a ton of pictures of students smiling and high-fiving and just looking super happy coming off of a field. I'm pretty sure I took like 500 pictures just standing in this spot within the span of 5 or 10 minutes, but a lot of them turned out really well, and I'm sure that a lot of the students are going to be pretty appreciative that they have a picture of them smiling as they're leaving Lambeau Field. Every year, there's sort of a tradition where our drum line goes up into the main concourse of the stadium and has a drumline battle against the Packers Tundra drumline. Of course, that's an awesome photo opportunity. It draws a lot of spectators in who hear it happening and don't know what's going on. They call it a drumline battle, but it's more of just a performance of 2 different drum lines sort of playing together and going back and forth. There's tons of iPhones recording the thing, and I'm sure that it's a memory that a lot of those members take with them for years and years to come. We took a big group photo, and I headed back downstairs to start editing and trying to make use of some of the time we had before the game ended, before we needed to be back out on the field. The 5th quarter, regardless of wins or loses by the team, is super fun. All of the students really get to enjoy being on the field, performing, being silly, playing their instruments, and just having a good time and being there for the fans. There's always a lot of people who stay at Camp Randall after the game has ended to watch the 5th quarter, but I would say even more people at Lambeau Field decided to stay just because, again, Green Bay is pretty far from Madison, and so I'm sure a lot of those people in the Green Bay area who go to Packer games regularly may not have the opportunity to watch 5th quarter or the Badger Band very often. During the 5th quarter performance, every section and every group of performers in the band have different things and different traditions that they do on the field. On this day specifically, since we were at Lambeau Field and someplace different, I had a ton of people come up to me and ask for pictures because they wanted to do fun group photos on the field of Lambeau before we headed out of the stadium for the day. Once we had made it through our list of standard 5th quarter songs, the band lines up and plays the Alma Mater Varsity, which is actually one of my favorite parts of any game day. It was one of my favorite things to play. It sounds really cool, but it's also just a really neat moment to get to play alongside 300 of your best friends, getting to do what you love, looking out at people supporting you, and just think about and reflect on the day while playing one final piece of music. We head out of the stadium and marched back all the way over to the rehearsal facility where the buses were. As is tradition, anytime the band travels, they make a circle and a huddle up. The directors get to talk and reflect on the day. The drum major Caleb has a few words, and that's it. They're dismissed. Everybody changes out of their uniform, packs their instruments up, loads the buses, and they are headed home. I grabbed some food, put the cameras away, and walked back to my car for a 2-hour drive home. Days like this are exactly why I love what I do. There's a ton of unique experiences that we get to see and do that not everybody does. If you made it this far and you're still watching, thank you. This type of vlog and actually putting myself in front of the camera is something I've wanted to do for years and just have put off for different reasons. I actually had a really good time making this, even if I still feel really uncomfortable and awkward on this side of the camera. I'd love to do more, but please let me know if you like this format. Is there something you wish you could see that I didn't do? And I will do my best to listen and respond moving forward. Again, thank you so much. Have a good show, and we'll see you soon.